Hey guys, welcome to Knocked Up and Broke. Today we're just going to talk about something that happened to me recently, and I'm just going to go straight to the point because, or rather, just my 2019. It's like a testimonial of things that happened last year that I was just like, wow, God, you are good, and your mercies are just there. They endure forever, But I think the biggest highlight for me was I gave birth in May 2019. And of course, when you give birth, one of the things that you want and when you have a baby is to have financial stability and just to be comfortable and okay. And for me, I was really blessed I had a job and I had a very, let's say it was stable. But as time went by, from May till December, like we noted that things were just falling apart, literally just right in front of our eyes. But the thing is that really happened. Now, let me just tell you like my miracles, the miracles that happened, but then that led to something big happening that shook my faith a bit, but I got back on track because of what happened after that. So May 2019 got my baby. I went and let me tell you the funniest thing. The company I was working for didn't have it didn't have proper contracts. We were just like consultants. But funny enough, or just thanks be to God, just a few months before I gave birth, they decided to give us permanent contracts, which was perfect because if you're in a consultancy contract, it just means that if they fire you, you just can't, they won't pay you your money like 2 months in advance or anything. So it really messes you up. But they gave us they gave us a permanent contract, which really helped. So I could go on leave for my 3 months. And then I came back and I was working, but the mood in the place had just changed completely. Like everyone just felt so uncomfortable. I personally felt so uncomfortable. I felt like things were just not going well, and I was so scared because at the time I was living with my grandma. My auntie used to come and at least sit with my son, so it was really comfortable at the time because, of course, you're leaving your child with a family member. But then eventually it was time for me to move out, and like sometimes dealing with staying with a small baby, especially with relatives, and when you want to just align your life, it's just really hard. So I decided, like, I kept praying and I kept telling God, I really want to move out. I really want a new nanny and I really want a new job by the end of this year. That was like about September, and I didn't even know how it was going to happen, but I kept saying it. Like, I kept saying I want to move out. So finally, I did move out, and it was really liberating but scary at the same time because that just meant that now I'm managing a home. I have a nanny, I got a nanny, and honestly, it's just been a whole other experience. I don't mind her, but it's just made me realize that I'm the kind of person who just prefers to raise my son by myself, and it's just one of those things that I'm really struggling with at the moment. Anyways, so I moved out finally, I think in November, yes, in November. Just the same week, guys, the same week as I was about to move out, and I'd already paid for deposit and rent and everything. The company I was working for, which is called Zumi, just decided that they were just shutting down. And for me and another colleague of mine, we were given like a small role, like, you can still take care of the site. And I was really holding on to that because I was like, okay, fine, it's fine, not all hope is lost, it's fine, I can still like do stuff for the website. For those who don't know, I'm a content creator and just like digital marketing stuff. So, anyways, I was there holding on to that, and I was just like, it's fine. I'm gonna do my side hustles and stuff, whatever I write, and make enough money. But the thing is, I realized I was so quick into turning into logic than praying or having faith in God. So, and now I was like, okay, the first day I remember, I was so devastated. Like, it didn't even hit me, but I was like, okay, I am moving out. I have a baby. I have a nanny. I have so much on my plate, and I don't know how this is just going to be. Like, how do you lose your job when you're just about to move out? Then I chilled and I moved out, and at least let me say this, it was much easier. Sometimes it's much easier to sit in your own shit when no one else is around you to smell it. Does that make sense? Like, it's easier. Like, it's just easier. Like, you don't have to be in a rush to deal with it. You don't have to feel like, oh my gosh, I stink, like I need to go. I'm not saying, you get my point, yeah, but I think that's really deep. Anyways, so eventually I kept looking for a job. For like 2 weeks, I kept looking for a job. I looked for a job, and I went for like job interviews. And the first job interview, because I was just so out of it, I kept sending the CVs, and the person noticed that I didn't really put so much effort, and she called me and she was like, Vanessa, honestly, I'm just calling to tell you that you need to work on your CV because you really haven't done much. Now, really, I didn't feel like I wanted to work on my CV because I was, first of all, going through like denial. Then, secondly, I was just, I was just devastated. Like, why was God doing this to me? Why? Like, I'd always been told God takes care of his people, God takes care of his children. So I was like, what are you doing? What's this? Then finally, I went for job interviews, and when I went for job interviews, I really wanted something part time because the more I spent time with my son and my nanny, the more I realized that I really wanted to be there with him and just to raise him, to be part of his socialization in these foundational years, of which I really am going to work towards because that's just something I realize I'd rather do. But I went for my job interviews, and the first thing I always kept saying was, I'm a mother, I'm a mother, I'm a mother. But funny enough, people don't really care because they're just like, either way, we want to pay you this much, and it was so little. And of which just made me realize, like, us people from Zumi were kind of like really privileged. It's like you've come from a place of like a nice rich family, and you have to go to the ghetto, something like that. So it was kind of really hard adjusting. So this was now December. December I'm there. November I moved. Then December I'm like, oh gosh, I've already been paid my salaries and stuff. So January shit hits the fan. If I don't have a job, that's it. Like, I'm just going to have to move out. And there's so many thoughts that went through my mind. Like, what happens? What will people say? I mean, will I be a failure? But I learned to pray. Like, I honestly learned to pray. There were times I was so low and so angry at God. Because I'm like, what are you doing? I told you I wanted a job. I told you I wanted to move. I told you I wanted to get a new nanny. So far, those two things have happened before the year ended. But now, a job, and I'm like this, and people tell you the worst things when you're looking for a job. They're like, hey, this is Kenya. What on after job or Japata? This is very unrealistic. Like, I mean, just go back home. Like, people really know how to just push you and just not, they don't amplify your faith, which is so wrong. Like, never hang around people who don't amplify your faith. If you're looking for a job, if you want to move out, just and do it slowly. Tell the people who will help you achieve your goal. Don't tell people who will just pull you down. So finally, I went for my last interview, which was so like nice. The ladies were so nice. The people were so nice. And finally, I got a job. Within 3 weeks, I got a new job. And I really thank God because honestly, like, that just means we still can stay in this house. We can still do our stuff. That 1 month just taught me so much about myself. Like, one, I need to really learn how to save properly because I don't think I really did that enough. Because, yeah. Two, employment is just employment. Like, a job can isha anytime, and you just need to learn how to, especially when you have a child, plan your finances well. I personally am learning to plan my finances well. Three, I learned to be self-sufficient because stretching a salary from November to January or the end of January is just a whole other thing. And I've really been learning to do things by myself a lot more than before. So I guess that's just it. Like, yeah, anyways, it's all I can say from this experience is that God is real, God is there, and He listens to our prayers. I really prayed about this and I finally got it, and it just made me realize that I don't take care of me. No one takes care of me. It's just God and my faith. And with that being said, you do not have to be in that situation forever, and you won't be. So have faith and believe in God. I'll see you next time. That was just a storytelling because I just felt like I didn't want to say it later. It's now been 3 days since I started my new job, and I'm really just praying for God's grace to keep me. The same one who took me is the same one who will keep me, and the same one who will keep you. So we'll be back next week, or soon enough, with another story, any other things. But this, I felt like it was just something really important to me, so that you understand that whether you're a single mom, whether you're co-parenting, whatever you're doing, like, God is real. So yeah, bye bye.